So, news is Ghana just had its first GI registration for Kente. And everybody's like, we need to protect Adire, we need to do this, that. Guys, chill. Chill now. Make I tell you the cocoa. So this IP in question is what I call an uncommon form of IP. And that's because we've not had so many GIs within the African region. Remember that IP is territorial in nature. So for day 39 of the IP series Christmas countdown that we have been doing, I'm going to answer frequently asked questions about GI and what we need to know. And I mean, I need to point out also that for this to have happened, Ghana Ghana gets law. They have a GI law. They also have a GI regulation. So let's get into the conversation. Remember I said geographical indication is an uncommon form of IP, and that's because we've not really done so much research. I mean, we are dealing with misappropriation, misuse, and stuff like that, right? So this IP will basically protect products that are from a particular region, which could be regionally owned or collectively owned. So names of products that has a specific geographical origin and quality can fall under that category. So three ways that GIs like Kente can be protected. One, through sui generis system. Two, through collective marks or certification marks. So collective, I remember I talked about how GIs can be owned regionally or collectively. So yeah, collective mark will come in this way, certification marks will come in, you know, regionally, depending on what you guys want. And then you now have modalities that focus on business practice, such as laws relating to the repression of unfair competition or to consumer protection. I don't know if that makes sense, but if it doesn't, send me a DM. However, I just want to point out that in Nigeria and within Africa, we have, I'm going to list out a couple of GS that we already have. Okay. So in Nigeria, we have GIs such as the Nsuka yellow pepper, Kilishi, Ijebu Gari, the Ashoke, Adire, Yaji, Fura, Kunu Yada, Ofada rice, Abakiliki rice, Mambila tea, Banga smoked fish, the Kano leather that was going viral a few weeks ago, a few months ago, remember? Hibiscus tea, Taraba honey, shea butter and black soap, kogi cashew, Igbemo rice, yams from Benue. Do you know why I'm making emphasis on Benue? Anyways, moving on. Then we have other notable GIs within Africa, such as the Kenya coffee, Egyptian cotton, and the Penjam pepper, which is like the most recent before the Kente that was approved and registered and acknowledged as well. You have the South African robust tea. If you have the time, please do your research about the disputes that came out of the South African robust tea. Then we also have the famous Ethiopian coffee as well. So we have yeah, and I just remembered one, the Mozambique goat's meat, guys. So why am I making emphasis on this? I'll tell you in a bit. So you can now see that from my list, it's not just fabrics that enjoy GI protection, right? GI can protect agricultural products, beverages, food items, and handicraft. I mean, I came across a video this evening where people were making stuffs with palms, and I was blown away. I mean, see guys, what we need to do right now is to encourage, please, I don't know how what phrase or word I'm going to use, but we need to put it out there to the government that we really, like, really need a GI law in order for us to protect some of these things, not some, all of these products that I have mentioned that we have. And I believe that with funding, investment, support research. We even find out more products that we have. I mean, we have about 700 and something local governments, right? And we all come from different communities. We all have like unique products that are peculiar to us. So remember when I was pressing Benue? That's because my mother is Benue and the yams are to die for, right? However, I'm going to explain the difference between what is called an indication of source and appellation of origin, so that when we're having this conversation again, you have a better idea about it, right? So indication of source would mean that that is where that product in question originated from. I mean, we've all seen things like made in China, made in Italy, made in the US, made in Aba. I know Noble Igwe, yeah, is like the champion of made in Aba, tag. But yeah, that's an example of indication of source. While appellation of origin would imply that the product in question has qualities that are linked to the place of origin. So, who are the people that can actually request for the protection of GI within a particular country? First, I mean the producers or group of producers of that product. So let's use Kente, which is like our primary focus, right? So the people from Ashanti region of Ghana, specifically the town of Bonwire, who came together. I mean, they have an ambassador of Kente, so you can imagine the series of applications, fine tuning that they had to do to be able to get to where they are. So it's currently a call for Adire to get the same recognition, but for that to get to that stage, we need the community where Adires and other GIs that I mentioned are being produced or made to come together. You guys need to, I mean, we need you guys not to work as a team. You need to work as a team. You need to come together, right? As a team, as a group of producers to ask the government. There's currently a GI bill, right? There's currently a GI bill. Come together, ask the government to pass that bill to become a law, an act, right? And then we can then take it from there to start creating a registry or a directory of GIs. More sponsorship and research will be done to also get the list of other GIs that we've not yet harnessed. I also just found out that Kente as a fabric is on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity, and that was done in 2024. So I'm tempted to ask, is Nigeria still the giant of Africa? I'm going to be biased and say yes, but I need you guys to answer me. But then, in closing, I'm just going to tell you why GI protection is important. Other than preservation of cultural heritage, it's actually going to boost our economy and also protect us from third party misappropriation of misuse. I mean, we've already seen news that Adira is being mass produced in China, right? But what about the other products like Nsuka yellow pepper? So it's also going to deter counterfeiters from actually misappropriating and misusing GIs. If you're listening to me from any community, start to do research. Find out what are those IPs that you have in your communities that has commercialization potential, so that a third party will not come and take advantage of it, right? From your medicines to your folklore, whatever it is. And as Africans too, we need to do a lot better. We need to do a lot better in terms of documentation. We need to get our list and our priorities right. We need more of our GIs and other form of uncommon IPs like our plant variety, genetic resources, traditional knowledge out there. So I want to thank you for listening to me. This is the end of the 39 of the IP series Christmas countdown that we've been doing. If you've learned something, you want to have more discussion on this, I'm your plug, I'm your girl. See you in day 40.